Texas State. Texas State with off the big win over Baylor. I think they're for real. I mean, for real as far as like a revamped team, one of the teams that took, the transfer portal and seriously. And yeah, we've heard Dabo, what he said this week about the transfer portal. And, I think for me, when you talk about Texas State, like the number 2 team behind Colorado as far as like power rating adjustment, I think so far. But I think that I don't want to say old school handicappers, because I'm one of them, but I don't know if they're adjusting quickly enough for the transfer portal. And I think that's why we're hearing this wild dichotomy on a team like Colorado, right? Because of the changes. And it's been a topic of discussion on the show across the street as well. But again, big turnover, on the roster can lead to massive changes. And that's maybe what we've seen here with Texas State. Here, look, Texas State, and I don't want to talk them up too much. I mean, this is still the Roadrunners, and the Roadrunners are 13.5-point favorites because we saw the incredible season that they had last year. They were one of the most fun teams, to watch in the country, certainly. So this one opened as low as 11. We're now looking at 13.5 here. The total is 66.5. This is as high as certainly it's ever been. I get it, especially after seeing all the points last week that Texas State put up in the game there against Baylor. I mean, they were going crazy with the and blowing them out. So it was a wild game. I'm not so sure though with this one if I can see necessarily the total's gone maybe through the roof for me a little bit. Maybe my numbers on this are a little off, but at 66.5 now, I feel like it's going a bit too high. I'm going to end up on the under in this one with we know the Roadrunners throw it all over the yard. I've got my, the stat and the recap here, and it would sound like I'm contradicting myself here a little bit if I tell you, the kind of the preview of the game, because it does seem to indicate that, the move might be right here by the public, but I feel like it's just gone a little bit too high with these two teams, and I'm going to have to go under in this one with Texas State and UTSA. We'll see if this Texas State team is for real. I kind of feel like, in a way that maybe they just got Baylor in a awkward spot last week. But if this line is going to continue to go up, I'm going to maybe find no other way. UTSA leads the all-time series 4-0, but 3 of the 4 games have been decided by 7 points or less. They didn't play last year. They didn't play last 2 years, actually. So those games were just a few years back. And I think Texas State, a much improved program right now. And, can UTSA replicate that great season from last year? I imagine that they could. They did lose to Houston 17-14, even though they outgained Houston. But Harris had 3 interceptions in the game. Texas State, new head coach. So the defense could definitely use some work. I'm still going to go under 66.5. All right. Me and hey, good to see you, Dave. Who do you like? He likes the under in the game tonight between Kansas City and Detroit. I think he's just saying, look, I mean, there's no doubt that, these totals inflated on Thursday Night Football. We talked about it just a few minutes ago, Dave, with Mindy, and basically saying, go look at the average scores in Kansas City. Their defense, we know they've, they're actually a great defense, and they're kind of like an unheralded defense a little bit, right? Maybe we don't give them enough credit like we should for the champs, but the average scores of their games are, like in the mid 40s, usually at home. That's where they land. And here you're getting basically at least a touchdown better than that. So to figure it out, asked about the WNBA, and there is one game. We did preview it about 20 minutes ago. So just back it up.